So, in these 40 years, what I have seen is, about 20 years ago, at least in the Western societies, if you asked a group of people, how many of you want to go to heaven? 80% of the hands would go up. Today, if you go and ask a group of people, let's say 1,000 people are there, you ask them, how many of you want to go to heaven? Very hesitantly, very shy and embarrassed, 2-3 hands will go up. Rest of them say no. The young people don't want to go to heaven because whatever the old marketing machine which has been telling you what is there in heaven is not attractive to them. They're asking, is there free Wi-Fi? Hello? You want free Wi-Fi in heaven? So because of this, in people's minds, heavens are collapsing. When heavens collapse, what will fill the gap? The immediate gap will be filled by alcohol, drugs and other things because people are trying to make something out of their life. But they will tire of that. The more intelligent will look beyond that. Those who indulge also will get tired of it after some time, but it'll take its toll, unfortunately. Then what is it? Then people will look for the science of well-being. That is what he stands for. This is why I said Adi Yogi is not of the past, but a phenomenon of the future. Though it was well over 15,000 years ago, what he offered is a scientific, technological solution for the subjectivity of the human being. Not philosophy, not ideology, not belief system, not tickets to heaven, but the science of subjective well-being of the human being. Though millennia, so many millenniums have passed, never before human societies were really ready to address their subjectivity scientifically. Only now, this generation and the coming generations are for the first time beginning to think logically. This is the first time that such a large mass of people beginning to think logically. We may think they're thinking wrong, it doesn't matter, but at least they're thinking for themselves. Otherwise, in the previous generations, they were not allowed to think, especially ladies. You must appreciate the times because just 100, 200 years ago, you were not supposed to think at all. If you did think for yourself, you would get punishment for that. In this culture, it was not so much so, but in the rest of the world, it was very much so. Women were not supposed to think for themselves. So, women are beginning to think for themselves. What it means is, straight away, 50% of the world's population has come into thinking process. So that's not a small thing. And now that people are thinking for themselves, once you think, however crazy you think somebody is thinking, there is a logical process to their thought process. So now, seeking solutions, even subjective solutions, in a more logically correct way or a scientific manner will naturally come forth. When this happens, Adi Yogi becomes super significant because he's already ready with his tools, 112 ways. So, this is Sanatan Dharma as a science. As a culture, it functions differently. We don't have to impose our culture on anybody. But science is not an imposition, science is a solution. So, in many ways, the future of the world is in Sanatan Dharma. But don't try to rub it on them, saying that you must take up my culture. Not necessary. The important thing is, they look for ultimate well-being, not for immediate well-being. That is Sanatan Dharma.
Sadhguru, you say that you are always stoned.
What is that? I'm sorry?
But you look more stoned than usual on MahashivaRatri. What's happening with you, Sadhguru? Asks Iliad